Hello, hello. Welcome to our very first live webinar. And you are with Fx'tive H&W Solutions. We're simply just a group of traders who decided to come together and just help out the rest of the world, especially during these rough times in the climate. And so we're just going to have you guys follow us as we put trades in and out of different markets. And some of our team members might jump on kind of randomly. I think right now we have Andre on the line. And so we're going to go ahead and just get started. And if anybody wants to chime in and just ask any questions or whatever, you're welcome to do that. But we're just going to try to see if we can find some money this morning. The news is coming out at 7. Let's see here. Andre, you with me?
I'm here with you. Good morning, guys. Welcome, welcome. Get ready to make some money.
I
And
know.
so,
What'd you say, Andre? I'm sorry.
no, I'm just making sure everything is up and proper on the stream. But we're live. We're good.
All right, cool. All right, let's check out some news real quick. I think we have news coming up. Where is it? The Forex calendar. Grab that. You should be able to see that now. So today is Wednesday. So we just had some news that came out already. I'm just getting an alert right now for a trade. I was wondering what was going on here. Why this didn't look right. Let's see if that works. Awesome. All right, so let's go back to the calendar here. Looking at the calendar, and I'm on Pacific Standard Time, so we just have 5:30 CAD news, which worked out in our favor. And now we're looking at dollar news coming out at 7. So we can either look at euro dollar or we can look at dollar CAD again, just to see what CAD did at 5:30, and maybe that'll give us some insight on maybe taking advantage of it, either a pullback the other way around, or maybe finally it's going to continue. So this alert here was for euro dollar. Just going to see what that was about. We got a new pivot high alert. All right, so euro dollar. Let's check that out real quick. So here's our euro dollar. And that was on a 10-minute chart. So based on the 10-minute, it said the last thing we got was a new pivot high. So it's talking about this here. So if that new pivot high just formed, then we should be expecting an uptrend on this. If we're having an uptrend on this, then we should have a downtrend on the other. All right, give me 1 second while I look at this real quick.
Hey, Professor. You be so rough.
All right, so
Hey, Prof.
yes,
If you be so kind, can you switch the Zoom screen back to the primary as well?
there we go. Thank you, sir.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, so looking at this here, it looks like we might get an uptrend. What I'm afraid of is looking at this, it already started going down, but I think all of this downtrend is just because of this last move here. What did they hit here? They hit this level here. They already took that out. And that. Okay, so they should be on their way up. This may be anticipating a breakout to the upside, which I think it is. We've been waiting a long time on this. We originally tried to make money on the downside, but it didn't do much. We were trying to capture all of this coming back down, but for a whole week and a couple of days, it's been going sideways. Hopefully, we get the breakout to the upside. That's what we're anticipating. So we'll see what happens there. But let's go back to our dollar CAD since the news is coming out in 7 minutes. So we got 7 minutes here on the timer. Let's figure out what we're going to do here. Big picture. I already mapped it out. We can see here if we just back up for a minute and go to the 14-day. On the 14-day, we can see here that it already hit a zone. So anytime you see one of these stars here, that means it got one of the zones that we were anticipating. And so it got this level here. Now it could go higher, but I'm not thinking it will because of how strong this move down was. Then secondly, we have a minor 1-day level that was also touched with this candle here. There was a minor 1-day level right in this red candle. So when price action came down and went up, it hit that minor level, resistance level. So let's look at that in there. 1 day. So now that we're on the 1 day, here's that move up. This was the move down that we looked at. And remember the move up going to the 1 day. This is that zone there. We call these zones. You may hear of them referred to as base candles. Base candles act as consolidation. They also act as range, depending on what time frame you're looking at. And so that range is a fight between bulls and bears. And so when we find those areas that are closest to the pivots, those are typically great signs that we should get some type of reversal, but not always. So it just depends on where it's located. Sometimes you might hear one of our team members say it's the right formation, but it's in the wrong location, because location is everything when you're trading as well. So we can see here that there was a minor resistance level. I call it minor because that means that I still can see the possibility of it going a little higher. Remember, I saw something going a little bit above the resistance, the major resistance level. I don't anticipate that it will. That's why I'm calling it major. I'm calling it that because I believe it is reversing completely. And I'll show you another reason why. We got 4 minutes. If you look at this minor resistance level on the 1 day, look at how it looks all the way across. That's some pretty good minor resist. It's minor because it's not at the pivot. It's under the pivot. But that's a pretty strong level there, and it already hit it here. And so that's where we are on the 1 day. We're here, where it already hit it. And so because it already hit it, let's now take a look at the sequential analysis. So sequential analysis just means we're going to look at multiple chart patterns. And so I'm going to look at this 1 second, and then we're going to change this to a 1 minute. And we got 4 minutes, 3 minutes before the news comes out. Change this to a 10-minute chart. Going to turn on, these are our in-house indicators that we've created here. One of our traders, his name is Andre, he's on the line right now. He's our IT developer. And so he developed these for us, put together all of our minds and our curriculum and our strategies into these here. And so that's what we're kind of utilizing. We know how to read it by eye, but we programmed it so that it speeds the process up for us. So if we're looking for the possibility of a downtrend, here's the daily open price. So they're definitely going to play around this price. I can see here they already started going down on the 10-minute, but this is a little bit confusing because they're going higher, and that's what we're seeing here on the 1 minute. We have this on the 10-second. Give me 1 second here. Let me see if I can switch this out. There we go. Okay, we're good. We're working. Just making sure we're connected. All right, so we're looking looking for a short opportunity if we can find it, because there's a lot of resistance there. If I were to back this 10-minute up, it hit this minor resistance level, so it could go up. This is a good 60 pips up. So we're just, it's possible. It's possible that it's turning. The 1 minute already shows that it did turn. And it went as high as this one. Okay. So we're not quite ready yet to get in on the downtrend. This is a little suspicious. We got 1 minute. Let's see what happens in 1 minute with this dollar pair. This is not a good time for us to jump in. I would normally jump in, but it's not set up for us to take advantage of the move. I don't want to get us in trouble here. Right now it shows sideways with a downtrend bias. That's what the 10-minute shows. The 1 minute is uptrend, 10-second is uptrend, and I never jump in on price action when it has already made the move. You want to wait for the move to be completed unless you can foresee the breakout. And right now I can't foresee the breakout just yet, other than I believe it's going to go lower than the daily open at some point. So there they go. They're going to push the market up first. And this is where we're going to wait. They're going to push the market up, and then we're going to wait to see if they're going to return it to the downside. That's what we're going to do. Now, because they just added orders, let me explain why you see this in blue. This is, again, our customization. See, they're starting to push back down. So this is our customization here. And so blue candles represent institutions coming in and buying. When we have over here a light red color, that's institutions coming in and selling. So we have institutional buyers, institutional sellers, and then these candles here are just the typical colors here. As things happen, I'll teach you guys what I'm looking at. That way you have a better understanding of whether or not you may want to take advantage of the opportunities that we're taking advantage of. While we're waiting, I'm looking at this 10-minute chart, and it's still in a downtrend. If I were to do this, I can see that the sellers are still winning on the 10-minute chart. And they have about up here to go. So this would be the breakout point there. So let's go ahead and identify that as the uptrend breakout. That would be that level. And if that is the uptrend breakout, that would make this one the downtrend breakout. All right, so we have about a 30 pip range here in the 10-minute chart, and we're trying to figure out within this 30 pip range here. Let me maximize this for you guys. So as you guys can see, I'm looking at this whole market. It's going sideways. And I'm trying to determine how we're going to get in on this possibly downtrend. Give me 1 second here. There we go. And so I'm looking at the last move, which was a downtrend, and I can see here they're still holding strong, and that's why we have these candles here. This is smooth Heikin-Ashi is what this is called. These are Heikin-Ashi candles, and it just kind of gives us an idea of what the latest trend is. So we can see the trend is down, but I can also see based on we call this a God line. The white line is a God line, G-O-D line. And this gray one here, we call it a guide line, Gyide line. The guideline shows us the direction of price action, meaning the candles, and then the God line here allows us to see what is the overall trend of the market on a much more grander scale. So this is more of a tight movement for price action, which is the gray one, more of an immediate movement, and then the white one gives us more of a longer average of how the candles are acting. So when we look at that, what we want to pay most attention to is where it crosses. When it crosses, if the mean is are these edges here, and these edges represent the prices over here to the right. So whenever the mean of the God line, the white one, is higher than where it crosses the guideline, we will want to look at that as the potential of the price action going higher. But if the mean of the guideline is falling below where it crossed, then we're looking at more so of a downtrend. And that's the reason why I haven't made a decision, is because you can see we are sideways. It's not necessarily up or down. It's slightly more up than it is down. But again, we would have to close price above 136.33, or it has to close below 136.03 before I actually have a confirmation on the 10-minute chart of which direction it's going. All right. Let me see here. All right, so the 10-second, see how it crossed here, but it crossed it crossed here, and now the mean is lower than the cross, so that lets us know we're in a downtrend on the 10-second chart. We don't have that confirmation on the 10-minute, nor do we have it on the 1 minute, so we're just going to sit tight. Looks like that news didn't do much. I would have expected more of a breakout, but nothing seems to have happened thus far, other than it went up right here, and now it's already starting to come back down. And the downtrend is what I was anticipating anyway, because remember we saw that it hit 2 resistance levels already. So let's see what we get with dollar CAD. Let me check some other charts here. Give me 1 second. All right. Come on, come on. So the 10-second just crossed here, so they're going to be... Oh, no, they're taking this down. Because you see where it crossed, how the guideline is down more than up. And it's very strong to the downside. There we go, see? On our indicator, we also had it programmed to where that when the pivot is created, it'll pop up. When we have an opportunity for a downtrend, we'll get that. And then we have downtrend confirmed. So right now we have a downtrend signal and downtrend confirmed happening at the exact same time. So that's giving us some promise of a turn. And on the 1 minute, I don't have anything, but we're gonna need a breakout to the downside. And I'm gonna be patient and wait for this 1 minute. I like this 10-second though, but I'm gonna be patient. And the reason why I'm going to be patient is because even though the 10-second is already showing us that the turn is happening, I don't see that the turn is happening on the 1 minute yet. I do see it on the 10, but I want to see it on all three if I can. And if I at least get a red one here, I'll get some more hope that this 1 minute is also turning. So let's see what we get before we actually commit to this. Okay. All right, we got a red one. We got another red one on the 10 minute. So it looks like this thing might break out to the downside, but I need more. I'm gonna need this 10-second to pull back one more time maybe, and then when it drops a second time, we might get more confirmation here. This is already showing us two downtrend signals. Downtrend has been confirmed, but I'm not happy yet. I still want more. I want more. Oh, we got a second one. So we're getting close here. Oh, it should have got in on that 10-second like I was thinking. Oh. Look at the 10 minute. Starting to turn green. Glad we waited. Let's see what happens. Since this is turning green, that means this 1 minute might break out to the upside. And as of right now, the uptrend breakout on the 1 minute. So the 10-second is going up again like I anticipated. Need another up move. That's probably why this is turning green. I did ask for it. And now I'm getting it. Glad we didn't jump in. See? You want everything to line up perfectly. So far, we've been here for about a good 11 minutes. Once again, this is Fx'tive HNW Solutions. HNW stands for High Net Worth. And so we're just a bunch of traders coming together. We got a good team coming from different backgrounds. My name's Professor. We also have Andre on the line. He's the guy who was behind a lot of the IT that we have going on. We also have Kai Hughes on the line. He's one of our advanced traders. And we also have our chief strategist, who's also the VP, Lamar, on the line. Everybody specializes in something different. And so as they chime in, you guys get to hear a lot of that professionalism. So getting back to the charts here, 10 seconds going back up again. Let me see here. All right. And all right, so it's going higher. Very good.
The three positive signs in the context of the higher time frame.
Say it again.
These smaller time frames are matching the higher context of the big picture here.
Yeah, big picture I have so far a downtrend on dollar cat. We just mapped that out just a little earlier. Let me see here. So going back to this here, I think I have it saved. Yeah, right here. So this is what I have. The first thing I found was on the 14 day. Big old chart. So we're here right now. This is current time. So on the 14-day, we have it already hitting resistance, but there's some more room for them to go up if they wanted to. But there's also a gap down here, right here at this level, the supply level. I don't really want to call it supply. I call it more resistance, but it's acting as supply. It was very strong. And then there's another minor level on the 1 day inside of this red candle here as we go down the time frame. So if you notice, I've only mapped out this pivot and this pivot here. I didn't map out this whole thing using our indicator. Our indicator, we're just looking at this pivot low, this pivot high. So we're just right here in this little area. But I can see big picture, it already came down. There was a zone in here. It already came down, turned around, went up, and it hit that zone. And now it's doing this here. And we're just trying to catch this continuation to the downside if it hit this. Now, if it acts as a minor level, which I believe this is a minor resistance level, it could go a little higher, like I said, but hopefully it continues the downtrend. So let's look at the 1 day resistance level that I saw in here. And if we go down to the 1 day, here it is. And as you can see, it already hit it once, twice, and here we are now.
So your lower time frame rally was to the resistance, the minor resistance.
The lower time frame rally, correct. Yep. It was to the resistance, yep. And now we're down here, and it was already in a downtrend, but it's pulling back now. So we're just trying to wait for it to get back in the downside, and then we'll jump in. As far as a TP, I didn't put one, but let's go ahead and lock one in now. Let's look at the chart real quick. All right, they're still up. That's fine, that's fine. I was anticipating this anyway. All right, so going back to dollar CAD here. TP. Let's put that there, and then I'll. What price is that? That's 133.62. And what is this? 133.85. I like that. Let's do the 85 and get out before it gets down here to this minor level. So $1.3385. For those of you who may not know what we're doing, and as far as what we're trading, I'm not doing, but what we're trading, this is the Forex market, and this is called, if you look in the background, the watermark back there says USD CAD. That stands for the US dollar against the Canadian dollar. And so we're just kind of watching price action as the CAD. This price over here represents the CAD. So this first currency here is called a quote currency. I'm sorry, this is the main currency here that we're looking at, but the quote currency is the CAD. And so the CAD over here is representative of all these prices right here. And so right now, CAD is worth roughly $1.36 and 23 pips if you want to purchase $1 US. So it's cheaper by about 30% or 36% cheaper. So we're just waiting for this to get stronger. I do believe CAD is getting stronger at this moment, and as it gets stronger, it'll cost less against the dollar, and so we'll see it go down. So let's get back to the smaller time frame. We're waiting for that beautiful downtrend, which already started, but it's pulling back, and so we're trying to catch the move back down again. Still pulling back. I don't want to jump in on anything yet. It's too much back and forth. We have an uptrend confirmed. This is false. The reason why it's false, because we understand how we made it and what's being calculated in the background. We have a lot of different things that are put together in order to formulate these ideas here and these labels that pop up. But sometimes we get false ones. And we can tell when there's a false one because there are certain other elements that need to show up on the screen before we know that it's a true confirmation. So as you can see, that confirmation already went away. So as I was talking, it didn't even last. All right. Don't ever get alarmed when you guys see these two. We're not going to jump just because it started doing what we want it to do, because we need everything working in tandem. So let's see what they're doing here. Are they turning already? This would need to break out to the downside if this is going to work, but it's not ready yet because the 1 minute ain't ready. Let me check this 1 minute out real quick. Oh yeah, it's on the way down. All right, so let me go ahead and take this, pause that, and then we'll go here. And we'll create another one. So we want to create an alert real quick. And what I want is there we go. That is our guideline. And I want that to cross here. And we're going to do that once per bar. And this will be the 1 minute. All right, let's go ahead and create that. It's already working. So we see here the dollar CAD at 7:20 Pacific time. The guideline has been crossed on the 1 minute chart here, but I'm still not sold yet. So I'm gonna wait on that. The reason I'm gonna wait is, number one, we have some buyers kicking in again. The blue lines represent institutional buyers. Even though it crossed, we still have some green here. So that's what we look at and call divergence. And we don't want to see that. We want clarity. And I still have some green on the 10 minutes. So I'm not too convinced yet that even though we could have made money on this going down so far, should have jumped in on that, but that would have been too risky, seeing that the other two are not in that position. So what that tells me, because the 10-second moved so soon, there's strong possibility of a strong pullback that's going to need to occur again in order to bring that into alignment with the other two here. Got about 8 minutes left on here before we get a new candle. Oh, this is starting to turn red. On the daily open, we might get that pullback. Once we get that pullback, we're going to go ahead and jump in on a downtrend. Now that my 1 minute gave me some red. So we might get some action around the daily open price. Let's see what we get. Looks like we're going to be ready. Man, that 10-second worked out really well. That would have been our morning trade. It would have been done. Come on, give me that pullback.
Would have been done for sure.
Oh, we would have been done. I'd have got out of this trade.
Where's my boy Cut? Situated.
Our webinar would have been over. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for this pullback though. I like perfect opportunities, not good ones. I'm gonna try to get some close to perfect ones as I can. But let's hope we get a pullback. And how many pips did this thing fall already?
Perfect, aka textbook trade.
Exactly. That's what we needed. Definitely need a textbook trade.
Perfect picture.
And if you look at this, I know it looked like it just like tanked, but it was only 15 pips, 17 pips. I mean, that's a lot for us, but per pip. But it's not a lot in comparison to the big picture. So, as I anticipated, they're probably going to turn at the daily open or not. They're going to create base. We'll see. I know one thing you won't be seeing with me in it. All right, so our looked like it was about to create demand right here. So as you can see on the 10-second, we already have an uptrend signal. It's not a strong one. This is a weak one because we don't have a pivot low. We do have buyers, institutional buyers, put in a few smaller orders in here to go long. We're starting to have green smooth Heikin-Ashi, and we're at the daily open, so it's turning like we anticipated. This turn is going to give us the opportunity to jump in on the downtrend. This is the one I was more so waiting for. So we'll see what happens this next time around. Hopefully the 10-minute chart is looking better. So I'm really hopeful of this downtrend because when we had this last downtrend here, notice price action tried to go back up and it didn't even make it back to the top of the uptrend breakout. It already started turning. That's giving me a sign that there's some weakness in here. And so we should get, at some point, a little bit of push back up. And then we'll catch that next down move. This one confused me because when it crossed, this was all still green. It wasn't red yet. So all right, so they're 2 pips below the daily open. That's fine. It's not that much. And remember I said this was a weak uptrend signal, so that's why it went down. Now the pivot wants to show up. So if they go back above the daily open, that means they just created a spring right here. And it should bounce, should continue going up. What are you gonna do? Make up your mind. Hurry up and go up so I can go down. There we go. Come on. Come on, you know you want to. Okay, we got a new pivot low again. That's a good sign. So this long down move, see how it just kept falling, and then all of a sudden you start getting these pivots. That means we're getting some support coming in. And the buyers are starting to kick in, and it's starting to turn. Lamar uses a phrase called accumulation. You might also see that in the Wyckoff theory. I believe they use some type of phrase similar to that as well. He knows how to use that, but that's not his thing. I was just using that for those of you who may know of it in that arena. And so accumulation is just when they're gathering and positioning themselves to go long and to buy. And distribution is the opposite of that. and that represents them selling or getting rid of what they purchased in order to make a profit. And every time you see that happening, there'll always be some battle going on here sideways. So we're hoping that the bulls win this for a little run so we can get in on the downtrend. If we don't receive any opportunities in the next 30 minutes, then we're going to call it a day. Actually, 15 minutes. We started, I think, at 6:45 this morning because news was at 7. So probably about another 15 minutes, and we'll call it, and then we'll jump back on again, possibly later today. We'll just jump back on when we feel like we have another opportunity.
Is it looking towards the end of the session for the U.S.?
Yeah, we were just kind of on here. I don't want to spend too much time on these webinars, but I want to spend enough time to just get an order in and make some money and then get out of here. But if the opportunity is not here, then that's it. It looks like we missed it. We were trying to catch the news, and I was trying to catch the downtrend from the news, and it happened already. That little 20 pips, we should have got in on that, but again, I didn't have enough information to feel comfortable with that, so.
Win some, you lose some, you still play the game.
I know, that's it. And as you can see, we would have been out of the trade. We would have been done by now. We'd have got out that trade because now they're turning around. So we're going to do it one more time, and then we'll call it. And then we'll jump back on maybe later today. If one of you guys want to do a live stream, we can come back on and do another one. I think I might do euro dollar later today. All right, so the 10-second chart is officially turning and going up, just like we anticipated. It hit the daily open. Let me show you something about the daily open. And everything we say, please understand this is not us giving you any kind of advice whatsoever. I am not a licensed trader. I've just been in the financial markets for a very long time, and I have a lot of insight. We'll call it that. But there's actually, from what I know, there's even no such thing as you can be a certified trader, but you can't be a licensed trader. So there's no real licensing for that anyway. It's a trade, just like painting or being some type of artist of some kind. It's a skill set. That's what trading is. And so you don't need a license when you have a skill. That skill just requires you to put in your 10,000 hours, as they say, so you can become a professional. And that's what you have here on this live stream here is a group of professionals who work together every single day. This is what we do. We just look at charts all day. And so we just wanted to open this up to the public, seeing it, how the market is acting up. And we just want to make sure you guys are taking advantage of it. And we're going to do this primarily in the Forex market and the equities market. And then we'll look at some commodities as well, if that's what the group requests. All right, let's get back to this here. So that 10-second crossed here again. So they just pull back to this. Didn't get that opportunity again. And look at this. This thing is still on the upside. That's dangerous. As much as they're going down, this thing is still averaging uptrend. And see, what I don't want to happen is for us to be in something like this, and they do have to go up and come down one more time, and they, pop up real fast while we're in the middle of it. I don't want that either. All right, so this thing just dropped below this. Let's take a chance here. Let's see what happens. Because this mean just dropped below this here. might come up to this here, and if they use this as resistance, we'll be good. And they maybe, no, yes, no, maybe so. What do you want to do? Oh, this over here is uptrend. And they closed above it. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? So you are going to use it as resistance? All right, so I'm officially in the trade here. You guys can see. I'm just thinking in case they don't pull back anytime soon. I don't want this thing to keep tanking. And we at least have until the downtrend breakout. So maybe they're going to close just below this. Let's see. Or are they going to break out? If I feel like it's going higher, I'm going to flip the trade. Looks like it's already starting to turn. We got a pivot low. Yep, it's turning. Go down one more time. Do it for me. No, you don't want to do it? All right. So I just exited that trade thinking it was going to go up, but it did not. It continued. All right, now this is the moment of truth here. If this thing closes below this downtrend breakout, that's a confirmation of a downtrend. And it's probably going to pull back from here, go up, and then come down. This is probably where we're going to get our turn. But this is what we should have made, all that money going down. Yep, it's breaking out to the downside. All right, well, I'm going to call it because I don't want to get in this. This is doing too much. Now we missed it, but we called it. We just weren't able to make any money from it. This move is too long, and I don't want to waste too much more time on here on this webinar. So this is Professor. This is our very first webinar. We called it. Didn't make any money, but we definitely knew and understood what was happening in the market, and I hope you guys learned something. So we'll be back a little later, probably with Euro Dollar, and we'll dig in and try to make some more money. All right, you guys have a great one. God bless.